But first,
Supergirl?
What's going on, guys? We got an exciting video today. I decided to make the change from an MSD two-step to the N2MB WOT Box. I've heard good things, and apparently that's the better one to have with a manual. I liked the two-step, but I met a guy that had the WOT Box for sale for cheap and decided to make the switch. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be installing that and see if it actually makes a difference on the car. So I went ahead and got the car kind of set up so I didn't have, bore you guys with all the prep work. But you just basically get the front wheel off on the passenger side, pull the front fender liner out. It's just got like 3 clips, 1, 2, actually 4. One of mine was broken, so. and then you also want to pull the kick panel out in the passenger footwell. So that little plastic piece, that's what was there. So you just pull that down to gain access to this area here. And we'll be working in there to mount the WOT Box. So that grommet right there is where we're going to be putting the wiring through for the WOT Box and into the engine bay. So to gain easier access to that, I'm just going to cut this little nipple thing off here, and then I should be able to route all the wiring through there and then up into, I believe it's this hole right here, which will go under the battery tray. And as you can see, I also went ahead and pulled the battery and battery tray out of the car already. See that one?
Mm-mm. Yep, okay, I see that.
Pull it through. Okay, that's good. See, look at that. I knew I was like shoving it in, but it wasn't going anywhere.
That's what she said!
So with that harness now ready to go and go up in the engine bay, I'm just gonna go ahead and find the position that I like for the WOT Box down in there in that footwell, and make sure that we have the right amount of harness down here for that. Just zip tie it down once we're all finished with the install part. All the wiring I have? It's supposed to be all the way up here. Bro. I'm gonna have to extend every single one of these wires. That's the beauty of buying used. I'm gonna do all that and then we'll come back.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so I've gone ahead and extended each of the wires. I only have green wire laying around, so they're going to be all green, but I'm just going to make sure to double check what color the green is obviously attached to, and that's what wire that's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and start soldering. So I've got the fuse box pulled up, just a couple plastic clips to push in and then lift up, and then I've got my red wire, which is going to be going into the yellow-green wire going into the fuse box. It's this 15 amp fuse right here, and then you cut the wire, which is kind of sketch, but cut that, and then the other side is where the orange wire is going to be going into, which is this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and start soldering those together. The thing you're going to want to do is make sure you put your heat shrink on the wire before you solder these together, because if you forget, there's not really an easy way to get it on. Switch to my heat gun. That's one side down. Get the orange. Alright, so I finished the orange wire off camera and got the fuse box back in place. I'm working from the bottom up because each of these computer connectors you're supposed to tap into. So you've got the blue wire with a white stripe. Hopefully you can see that okay. And this is what's the blue wire for the WOT Box harness. I've got this ready to go. I've just got to cut this and then splice into it. I'm not going to worry about recording that just because it's kind of a hard spot, and I don't have a cameraman, so it's just me, so you just have to trust that it happened. So there's the bottom connector for the computer. It's tapped in, you can see the green wire coming from it. So I'm working on the next one here, and I figured I'd actually show you this one since you can actually see it. It's the yellow wire, so I'm tapping in the yellow violet. So I just kind of, rather than cutting it, I actually just spread the conduit or whatever you call the wire covering stuff, and then wrap that around. So I'm going to solder that and then use some electrical tape and put that plug back in, and then move on from there. There we go. All soldered up. Just going to use some electrical tape, cover that up, and we'll move on to the last one. Alright, all done. Just need to do some electrical tape. Okay, that concludes the install. Everything's put back together. I got the plugs all plugged back in. The wires are kind of more or less discreetly routed throughout here. I just got to assemble a couple other little things, put the battery back in. And then after that, the only thing left to do is really just test it, I guess. There's a couple little instructions that the N2MB people give you so that you can check that, I guess the box is responding correctly to different pedal positions, like when you push the clutch in, when you quick stomp the gas and whatnot. So I can do some of the little quick tests for the light and whatnot tonight. So I'll see you guys in a day or two. Alright, we are back. So I went ahead and did some of the quick little tests to make sure the WOT Box was working the other night, and it actually was not functioning properly. So I did a little bit more research, and being that this is a 2012 Mustang, 2011 and later, there was like a difference in voltage that you have to like tweak the programming. So utilize the software, change the voltage on the TPS thing to, I think it was 1.7. And once I did that, I was able to test the read, and it showed everything functioning properly. The WOT Box is now blinking like it should be, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that real quick too, so you can kind of see like how to test, you know, before you actually go road test the WOT Box. All right, so key in the on position, see the WOT Box light over there. Let it finish doing its loading stuff. And so the way that you test the WOT Box to make sure that it's working is you put your pedal to the floor, the gas pedal, see it start blinking, and then you hit the clutch pedal all the way to the floor. It will stop blinking for a second, come back on solid, and that's how you know, okay, your WOT Box is functioning properly. So now that we've done that, and we know that it's blinking like it's supposed to be, we'll be able to take it out and do a quick road test. And since we're all done checking to make sure that everything is functioning properly before heading out, I am going to go ahead and wrap up all the install. I went ahead and taped up the loom, so that's protected. Just got to put the wheel well liner back in, put the wheel on, and we'll be good to go.
Several bad puns later.